Yeah. So good morning, members of the media. Thank you all for coming to the Minority Council's weekly press briefing. We are going to be very quick today. I plan to speak about two specific items, and then I'll open up the floor for questions if there are any questions about any of those issues or any other issue that you may be interested in. The first thing I'd like to chat about is sort of an update of the last thing that I spoke about when we had the press conference 2 weeks ago. And this referred to the capital of Paradise going on dry dock. It should have gone on dry dock 2 weeks ago. It seems like, though, since we've spoken about the issue, something has happened because the boat is still sitting in Scarborough, waiting to go to Suriname. We're not sure what has happened. We understand that members of staff of FIPCOT, and FIPCOT is the Fishing Processing Company of Tobago Limited, members of staff of FIPCOT flew to Suriname expecting the vessel to get to Suriname. I understand that they've since flown back to Tobago and the vessel is still sitting comfortably at the Caribbean Fisheries Training and Development Institute in Scarborough. So we are trying to figure out what has happened, why the delay. We understand that the individual who was hired to captain the vessel, there may have been a little incident where the vessel was turning around right there and it may have collided with something else. We are not sure. We are trying to get some update on what is happening with that vessel and why didn't it go to Suriname as originally scheduled, given that members of staff did actually fly to Suriname expecting it to come there, meet them, be dry docked, fixed, and returned to Tobago. They were hoping that it would be returned to Tobago by now, but somehow that has not happened, and we're trying to figure out what is the reason. The other thing that I would like to raise, and it's based on the same issue with the capital of Paradise, has to do with the fact that a year ago, a little over a year ago, there was an individual who worked with the capital of Paradise, was on the vessel, and died while on duty. This individual, his name is Ricardo Francis, or his name was Ricardo Francis. He was on duty on the vessel. The vessel came in and docked, and they were waiting, I guess, for customs to come in and to clear the vessel. For them to then offload the catch. And somehow in the midst of whatever, that individual possibly fell overboard and drowned. They found the body maybe a day or so after the incident, and he was buried shortly after that. I had a short meeting with the members of his family, because the members of his family have been asking, have been begging, have been pleading with the THA and with FIPCOT since then for some closure on the issue relating to their family member. They are being told, unfortunately, that the THA or FIPCOT can't do anything about the case until they've gotten documents from the police and until they've gotten documents from the pathologist. Now, the family has been trying their best for the last year to acquire those documents, but somehow they seem to not be available. And because of that, the THA and the FIPCOT have been indicating that they are unable, or I am not sure if they are unwilling, to provide the family with some sort of finality in terms of understanding what are the financial responsibilities that the THA has as a result of this situation. Now that caused me to think about something, which is, do the workers on this ship, do they have special insurance that covers this kind of event? And if they do have special insurance, what is the holdup? because the family has been grieving, the family has been waiting for the last year. And I think what is more important is the family feels that they are not being honored and they are not being respected, because when they call to try to find information about what's happening, they are being blown off. And I think it is the hurt and it is the disrespect of what's happening that's causing them to continually grieve their son, to continually grieve their brother, to continually grieve their uncle, because the Tobago House of Assembly and the representatives from FitCut are not standing up to their responsibility and are not speaking with the family members the way that they should, and are not reaching out and showing that they care that a member of Tobago's population died while on duty, and they seem to not care about that. They seem to not be responding to that, and the family is simply asking, please reach out to them, please assist them to bring this issue to a finality, please get to the point where they can now grieve their relative in peace. This isn't a difficult request. It is simply a request to be compassionate, because a member of the community died while on duty on this vessel. This is not a difficult request. The second issue that I would like to raise refers to the closure for the last month or so of the Belle Health Center. I have gotten calls from several members of the community, older people who should be going to clinic and can't get their clinic date there and then have to go to another health center. Young people who are trying to get services, people who are trying to just get their blood pressure and blood sugar done because we are telling them that they need to know their numbers, know their status. Those individuals have been calling and complaining that the Belle Health Center has been closed for about a month, and no one seems to know why it is closed. No one seems to know what is the holdup. And when you ask questions, there seems to be no one knows. We don't know what, we don't know why, but more importantly, we don't know when. And that is not good enough. So we are asking the Secretary with responsibility for health to please step up and find out what is happening at the Belle Health Center and have the TRHA complete whatever it is needs to be done there, so that the residents of Belle can use the center as they are used to. It is unfair for them to have to then travel to other communities when we have a health center that is there and that is functional, should be functional, but we're not quite sure what's happening. So I would like you to help me determine what really is the holdup. Why aren't they there? Why aren't they functioning there? And when, most importantly, when can the residents of Belle expect the Belle Health Center to be functional and open again? Those are the two issues that I have to raise today. Are there any questions?
So that it's been closed for a while, the Belle Health Center, how long?
As far as I'm aware, it's been closed for between 3 weeks and a month. Because I got calls a couple weeks ago and I figured it may have just been something that they're fixing, so let's give them a little time. But it seems like it's a never-ending situation. I passed there this morning on my way to Scarborough and it was closed.
Can the capital of Paradise have been informed that isn't the board that should be?
Yes, so the Capital of Paradise is the vessel that was procured by the Tobago House of Assembly, I think in 2009, if I'm not mistaken, to do fishing. It's a fishing boat. So it is the boat that was docked. There were some gentlemen from Castar, if I'm not mistaken, who were the captains and were workers there. It goes out for weeks on end, fishes, and then comes back. And that is what is supposed to be going on dry docked, and we're not quite sure what's happening. Mm-hmm.
Let's give it a follow-up. So far, you raising this with the small businessmen and the customs to the
Yes, I am aware that he raised the issue.
He said that they would directly teach you on the matter.
Well, we have not gotten an update from them.
No, you already write to them.
My understanding is that we did write, yes.
And the customs falls under division into the
Technically, it does not. Because customs is under customs and excise, which is under the Ministry of National Security. However, we need to be aware of the fact that the Tobago House of Assembly is responsible for everything and anything that relates to Tobago. And if it is affecting Tobagonians, the Chief Secretary and the other secretaries and members of the Executive Council of the Tobago House of Assembly needs to act and needs to speak on behalf of Tobago and on behalf of Tobagonians.
another matter we just found out on Tuesday that the bus service bus drivers no longer will be working on the public road. And these are reason was given yesterday, but early in the week.
Okay.
No one was shopping and paid for drivers to go on public holidays.
Okay.
And also overtime.
Mm.
If somebody doesn't come, and the driver must be asked to go and go in the place.
Well, this is the first that I am hearing of that decision.
Across the country, just
Okay, and that is unfortunate. Now, even if that is a decision that has been made in Trinidad, again, the Tobago House of Assembly needs to understand that it is responsible for Tobago. And we do have a division that has transportation as part of its mandate in Tobago. So even if there's a national decision, the Tobago House of Assembly needs to determine whether that is indeed the best decision for the Tobago public and how that affects us, and puts things in place to mitigate those situations if there's a national issue. So it's unfortunate that that is the case, because we still have our elderly, we still have all of the people who normally use the PTSC service who would need to use that service on holidays. So is it just holidays or just holidays and weekends? Just holidays?
holidays and anything overtime.
Anything that's considered overtime. Okay. Then we'll have to look into that a little bit further.